The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback. And here's Marshall. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A gain of 3, second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll drop the throw. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it a second down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there was a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 11 carries, 117 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync. Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Denver getting set to take the field. Try and start this drive in the air. Johnson with a completion over the middle. 30, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball's out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, what a move. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They're still in search of the 1st down after that last completion. Throwing on 3rd and long. Pace. And the Broncos get there and take him down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago: 17 carries, 68 yards.
And that was his first of the year, and I'll bet he's as surprised as anyone that he hasn't scored more. But what happens a lot of the time is if you haven't scored in the beginning, once you get that first one, they tend to come in bunches.
He'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. So it is third down now, but less than a yard to go. Back to throw here. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Offense comes to the line now, first and 10. They'll run with Marshall. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
And he's brought down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
First down, he'll drop to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
Offense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
They'll set up a throw. Wide open receiver, complete. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They're going to look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Hard throw, incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
That one sails out of bounds. A side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to...
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. This is Marshall. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taking on the midfield logo. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains. first down. Pace. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10, so now they can keep grinding out first downs and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Pace toward the pylon, caught. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows, they're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's brought down. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
To throw now on first down. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Looking to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. And they give this time to the tailback. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Now a handoff looking right across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Looking to throw on second down. Pace. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Well, not to get too overcritical there, because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
A final shot before break. Pace. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Broncos are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Bears didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10, Johnson's got the catch here. He gone as he sprints into the end zone. Broncos up by a touchdown. Broncos take it at the 1. He'll take this one off the right edge, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. The lead now at 14. 1st and 10, Pace has got the completion here, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 12-yard line. Sticking with the same drive, Pace is on target here, and he caps off the 2-play drive with the score. Bears down by a touchdown.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Second down a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Going to throw right side here, complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a handoff here to his running back. A swift move, but not a ton to show for it. Tackled just on the other side of midfield. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Fresh set of downs here. They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time. And it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bears will get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
On 1st and 10, Pace. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Pace. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you could see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know in most cases people think you throw the ball in this situation, and when they ran, it almost felt like a little bit of a surrender, maybe a give up. But I don't know if that's really the case. They might have been probing a little bit, checking the defense and filing it away for later. They might have something working later on.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So the Broncos coming out now. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going out offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here we go now.
They'll set up to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He gets it left side to Johnson. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is the absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now McManus for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. First down, pace. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. 2nd and 7. Off the play fake. Pace. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter.
Here we go. Blue landing.
To throw on 2nd down. Pace. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Davon Coleman in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And now a critical extra point attempt here. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They run the counter now on first down. Accelerating, and off he goes. 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have broken the tie. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
McManus now for the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Onto the field now come the Bears. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing on first down. Pace. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Back to throw. Pace. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area. And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Looking to throw on second down. Pace. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they're going to have this one up near the 30-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end can be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. 4-6 defense, they were daring him to run the football. They ran it. A little football 101. Take us through what the 4-6 defense is, Charles.
So what you're trying to do with your big defensive front is cover the interior offensive lineman, the center, and the 2 guards, and make it difficult if you even want to think about running the ball inside. If you can control them, that allows the linebackers and the safeties to run free and get to the ball carriers. And that play worked really well. No gain. You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Taking it about the 16. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you. And it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start. But he's found a way so far here in the second half.
And he's got room. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. And it'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Second down now after the pass completion. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And at the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Looking to throw. Pace. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
To throw on second down. Pace. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. A little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the pick six, and they decent field position and throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Second down following the incompletion.
Let's go. Green, 39.
To throw again. Pace. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. Operating from the gun. Pace. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. On 1st and 10. Pace. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here trying to preserve the lead. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Denver, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the New York Jets come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.